holiday edition of Nomad Garage. Today, we're going to be installing a headliner in the 68 Bronco. We're going to start first with some sound bending material, this kill mat. I think I got this on Amazon. And I also got these rollers. They're grooved, 3 different sizes, fairly inexpensive, again, on Amazon. So we're going to install this first and then put in the headliner. I work with the big pieces first, try to get that all in there, and then go back and patch different areas. But this is what I'm trying to avoid here. It's tin can echoey sound. So we'll compare that to what it sounds like when we get this stuff installed. Got the first section covered with kill mat. It works pretty good. I'm impressed with it. It cuts really good with the scissors. And now I'm going to start to roll out these seams here. You can see on the surface of this kill mat these little smooth little bubbles there, and then when you go over it with this tool, it grooves those bubbles, so it helps you see where you've been and make sure you get it all rolled out. You run across an air bubble, slice it, and then roll it out. Got all the kill mat installed. Took about 2.5, maybe 3 hours. I took my time. Yeah, I'm kind of holding, you know, just slow, just taking my time. And I had about 6 sheets left over. So that's kind of a gauge of how much one box, how far one box will go. And I seem to be pretty pleased with this. I think it went on really good. Rolled out nice, sticks well. And let's give it a sound test here. Yeah, it's more of a thud than an echo sound. So I think it's going to do the job. We got the larger part of the headliner in place. It's sagging there in the middle because we still have to install this cross bow when I get the front part done. So I'm going to have to drill a couple of holes. There's a hole there and one over there. And it's not lining up with the brace. The brace was installed in this thing like 1.5 inches. It was installed diagonally, I think, originally. All of this stuff has to be taken out. That'll match up with all of the holes here. And this is just cardboard. Very, very expensive cardboard. We got the back all buttoned up. Still got to put in that bow, but we're going to put in the front part first. Got everything cleared off the windshield. We got the front part of the headliner in place, and I need to feed these vacuum lines. So this one needs to come out through that hole, and this one through this hole. It's off a little bit here. Like you can see, this is where it was cut in the cardboard, and I had to extend it out. It's probably off almost 1/4 inch, which is weird because this is a factory sun visor and it fits the windshield perfect. So somewhere along the line, somebody got a measurement wrong. I actually had to cut this part out here because it wasn't really fitting around the vacuum. So I guess that's what happens. You have different manufacturers manufacturing different pieces, and then it doesn't always fit. So that's a question of, well, which vendor's right and which one's wrong? Is it the vendor making the windshield or the $180 piece of cardboard. I don't know, but we'll just install this. It won't be really visible at all, so I think we'll just go with it, and it is what it is. All right, so we finished up the headliner. Got that installed around all the components up there, the sun visor and the vacuum wipers. And look what Santa brought yesterday. A new piece of trim. So let's get that in here, drill some holes, and install that. Got all the hole locations marked out and drilled. I use a lot of tape here to protect the paint, obviously, from a wandering drill bit, and also using the smallest drill bit possible. It helps grab and hold that drill bit in place while you're drilling that initial hole. So everything is drilled. We're gonna start putting these tabs in here. Got these put on both ends of the trim. I'm gonna slide it into this hole here. I'm gonna tighten down the little nine 30-second nuts. That's the little nuts on both sides. And there it is. The back end is pretty much done from the doors back. The interior is done. We're gonna work our way forward, starting with the doors. This glass needs to be replaced. And then the mechanism here is kind of wonky. So we have to, yeah, that's a problem. So to get that fixed. And then on the fenders here, it's gonna need a little work. The hood is good. It's got like a little dent here. This fender, the stamping on it is questionable. You can see how much of a gap there is on this side where you don't see it on this side. This side matches the hood pretty well. I marked a spot on both sides with a line, and I came up with this template here, and I put it right on where that line is. And this is exactly flush with the top of the fender on this side. If I bring it over to this side and line up the mark with this mark here, you can see this side is about this much shorter, roughly 1/4 of an inch. It appears that the stampings are different from fender to fender. Just hold it together, man. Hold it together. First world problems. In many cases, when you get these parts, they do require some modification to get them to fit properly. And case in point is like this corner here. When I got this piece, this is flat, was damaged in shipping, so I did pound it out. I should have sent it back, but they didn't have any in stock. And you can see this doesn't match up with this at all. And if you look at it from the side, on this fender, you got a big bulge here, which pushes this forward. This is a little bit lower here. So that's gonna require some attention. Other than that, the front grille is new, bumper is new, fenders are new. So it's just a matter of cleaning it all up, pounding out a few things, and getting it ready to paint in the spring. So you might be asking yourself, why am I doing this in chunks? Why not just take the whole thing apart at one time? Well, that's a great question. Thanks for asking. There's 4 main reasons why. 1, space. You gotta have space. If you're gonna completely disassemble this thing, you gotta have space to put all the parts, which leads to the second one, memory. If I take this whole thing apart and have to put it together over time, like even a year or 2 later, I'm gonna forget how this stuff came apart or put together. I'm gonna struggle with that Nomad because I took that apart a while ago, and there's a lot of little pieces. So that'll be a challenge. For an old guy, you know, I can't remember what I did yesterday. The third reason is focus. If I can focus on one area of the Bronco, let's say the back end, and now working towards the front end, then it doesn't become overwhelming. And you can see a lot of guys, they'll get a project, they'll take it all apart, it's all in boxes, and they never put it back together because it just becomes overwhelming. And so if you stay focused on one area, then that can help alleviate that feeling of being overwhelmed. And then finally, the final reason is, if I do it in chunks, it's more likely that I'll be able to drive it while I'm working on it. And that is the fun of owning these vehicles, is to be able to drive them. So if you're able to drive it while you're working on it, you can enjoy it while you suffer through the pain of getting it fixed or getting it restored, and it makes it that much more doable in the long run. So that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, please consider subscribing, and have a great Christmas. It's snowing in the garage. Must be the magic of Christmas.